It's Nolan. Now, before we get started, make sure y'all hitting that like button. Make sure y'all sharing it on your respective platforms. Let somebody know what we're doing today. Now, let's get into the show. It's outside. I'm some more labor. Brought it straight from the dirt. Double my grind. Just a triple more work. Rockin' the same clothes from the first to the third. Say what you want. Motivated by grace, but I don't like them. It's for the industry and all them haters that comprise it. I own my image and likeness. I'm fighting like Leonidas. To be righteous is key. I had to make my circle tighter, cause they life is the street. I'm from the jungle where you kill what you eat. I love the feast. Taught myself how to cook, it was Franks and butter beans. Hot summers, no treats. Niggas born with no retreat. If they gotta get you, they willing to shoot you right through the priest. That's where I'm raised at. Took the A back. Y'all niggas listening to slave rap. Just got my chain back, crafted by Arabs. Wait, I got a blade strapped under the wave cap. My city full of niggas bleeding like a fucking ASAS. So when I say I overcame the odds, I don't pray to God. Watch niggas that was shaving hard, had to take a charge till I came to change the cards. Hey, I ain't got no words for y'all. I don't do the rap beats. I'm trying to get my girl to drop.
But I know it's gonna get better than this, for sure. I don't have everything that I want, but if there's one thing that I know, it's gonna get better than this, for sure.
Hey. What's going on, beautiful people? It's the kid J Nolan here. Welcome back to another episode of Inside the Industry, your number one source for music, entertainment, commentary, and breakdowns. Hope everybody's doing well out there. In this video, we're going to be getting into the Kevin McCall and Chris Brown situation. I caught on to this situation as it was happening, but I really just didn't have enough time this week to talk about it and get into the meat of this beef between these two guys because there was so much other stuff going on. But by now, I'm sure y'all probably know, Kevin McCall has been calling out Chris Brown. This has been something going on for over a decade, as a matter of fact. Their relationship has been fractured. Kevin McCall, he basically was somebody who worked with Chris Brown during the down times shortly after Chris was going through industry turmoil after, brutally beating Rihanna. And the industry basically pulled the ground from beneath him, and he had to try to climb his way back up into the graces of the people. And during that downtime, Chris Brown worked on mixtapes, collabs with Tyga. They ended up catching a hit record, Deuces, out of that. Kevin McCall worked on the Fortune album, the Fame album. And in that time of them working together for approximately 2 to 3 years, I know some people try to say, oh, Kevin McCall only worked on 2 songs. That's not true. It's actually closer to about 30 to 40 records that he helped write or co-write for Chris. And that was a very delicate time for Chris because, again, he was out of public favor. And Kevin was a source of inspiration and, helped him come out of that rut. You know what I mean? Since then, Chris Brown has been back in the public. And although he's been having a lot of controversy around his name, for the most part, he's been overall accepted, right? Although there is a lot of people that still hate him. I'm not the biggest Chris Brown supporter myself, but he still has had great amounts of success. Even putting out music that the label doesn't necessarily push, it still goes. He does tours. I think he's coming off of the biggest tour of his life with this whole Breezy Bowl thing, right? Over damn near 100, 200 million or some shit that he made. So Kevin McCall saw that this tour was wildly successful. He saw that Bryson Tiller, who was also a part of the tour, had bought Chris Brown a Lamborghini as a thank you. And this sent Kevin over the edge because I think the last time that they really got into it probably was damn near 6 years ago, something like that. But there was a video of Bryson giving Chris Brown a Lamborghini, which I don't understand buying a rich man who has a fleet of vehicles an additional one. But, industry niggas move different. I'm glad I'm where I am. I don't ever want to have to try to be a part of that type of shit. And yeah, Kevin wasn't feeling that shit. So he came out and basically tried to call them gay, right? And the way he positioned it was he was like, I tried to tell you, Bryson, Chris got that fire. Light skinned niggas got that fire. Which again, I'm glad I ain't never been in none of these types of circles to even speak in that type of way if that ain't the type of life I'm living. You feel me? No, y'all know I'm very inclusive, but as a straight man, I don't know why you would play like that, because if somebody play like that with you, you going to be wanting to fight, right? So he comes out and says that, and it throws the internet into a bit of a frenzy. From there, he was on his Instagram for days posting about Chris, Instagram stories, and basically rehashing old situations that have been affecting him up until recent, because he was put into a publishing deal during those 2010, 2011 times that he has not fulfilled. All right. So I know a lot of people talk about the EBT card, and we're going to get to that EBT card. And although Kevin McCall has had his own domestic abuse issues, and he's definitely we're going to get to that as well. His demons, his issues, and I don't support that shit at all. But outside of that side of it, that spectrum of, oh, I guess the scandal of it, there's a business side that he didn't understand, and it ended up hindering his growth, which is why he's partially in this position today. Okay? So what I'm gonna do is shout out to Charles Brown, because he put like a compilation together of different clips related to Kevin McCall. I'm gonna go ahead and run those. And then once we get through all of this, I'll get to the business of what his issue is and why he's crying, why he's not financially in a stable place. And I don't even know if them tears was real. It seemed like some crocodile shit, but I'm gonna show y'all this. All right.
All right, music.
Despite your flaws as a human being, you are one of the most talented individuals to ever grace the music industry.
We gonna get to that.
So
We gonna get to that.
Veer.
I love how you
To
try
that?
I love how you. Yeah, we gonna veer to that. But we gonna
Why
get
the
the bullshit
fuck
out
You
the way.
have a testimony.
Why
and
the
a story
fuck
to tell. Your life
get in on this?
He
Look,
finna-
I witnessed it.
He finna be in here and
Why
tell
the
our
fuck
homies
I got
what's
an
going on.
EBT card?
We
And
got
this
it.
nigga is at
Hold on,
Breezy Bowl
cuz.
and made 90 whatever the fuck million,
They want
and it
the
say
expo.
KKKKK Mac. Can I get 25,000 for them four songs I owe you, bro? I just want to
Great
leave,
content
bro.
leading up.
All right. So he gets into it a little bit. He doesn't expound on it, but I think it's $100 million, not 200 for Chris. But he's saying that Chris is out there at the Breezy Bowl performing some of those records that he wrote and produced with the KKKK Mac on it, right? And he's like, fuck, why can't I get no money? Now, again, what I'm not understanding is how he's not eating off of this in any capacity, because if Chris is doing world tours, and Chris been touring damn near every year for the last few years, damn near doing 2 tours. So if he's performing your music and it's adding up, he's doing 50, 60 dates, 40 dates here, 30 dates here. If your pub situation was tightened up, you would be actually eating off of those performances. This is something that I used to teach my clients back when I used to do music education is, dog, make sure that you have your music registered. Make sure that when you do performances at any venue, open mic, schools, anywhere that reports usages of music, you go out and you do a 20-minute performance, register your performance on BMI or ASCAP, whichever one you're set up on, and that shit will accumulate into money, right? So he should be getting money off of that. He should be eating off the radio play for them songs that still get played. So he says, can I get $25K? Because that's what he's waiting on, is a $25,000 payment that has not been delivered to him via his publishing deal. Okay?
Who he is?
I'm not even tripping though. I got an EBT card, my nigga. Like, what the fuck, bro? I can't even get nothing, bro, man. Y'all niggas want to see a nigga cry on here, so y'all can think I'm a bitch.
Nah, bro.
Fuck, nigga.
That shit ain't fair, nigga.
Hey,
I'm on EBT, bro.
hey,
That's why.
Man.
hey.
Now, this is why I say this some crocodile shit. All right? He looked like he's auditioning for a role. He looked like he auditioning for one of Tyrese's roles. I'm sorry. He looked like Tyrese when he was auditioning for motherfucking Django. If I'm gonna keep it a hundo. Nigga.
Look, bro.
Calm down, bro.
I'm on EBT,
Calm down.
smack, look. Say my name, bro. That shit is better. I had to go up in that motherfucker and hide my face with a mask like COVID, bro.
Don't act like every nigga ain't had no money.
Bro. The motherfuckers up there at the spot to give you EBT, the food stamp office, them motherfuckers don't recognize you, man.
Tyrese is a buster. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
When all the home I was getting into it, all my homeboys, everybody in the hood, because I'm famous, but I'm broke. So I'm living on my granny couch. This nigga Tyrese, he got a big-ass mansion at this time.
And just as I was mentioning Tyrese, here he goes talking about Tyrese. You sound a lot like Tyrese, too.
He called it Reese Hondas. He got Benny Hondas in the back. He got a Starbucks, a gas station. He got all type of shit. This is my idol. I do music because I used to walk the Lark High School from my house. Century and Avalon, I go all the way up the street by myself and watch his talent shows. That's why I do this shit. So he calling me. I really want to be friends with the nigga, but him just calling me is enough. So I'm like, ooh, he finna let me move in. He's like, look, you homeless? I'm finna do something for you. You know, he get real dramatic. He's a transformer type nigga. That's what I'm gonna do for you. God told me he don't want me letting somebody else go through the hurdles that I've overcame without at least giving them the gems.
Why the fuck is this nigga impression spot on? Were y'all niggas conceived from the same family tree? What the fuck, man? Am I tripping? That nigga sound just like this nigga, man.
If you will. Shut the fuck up. So then this is what the nigga do. He said, so this is what I'm gonna do for you. You say you homeless, you need somewhere to stay. I'm thinking Kevin to say, I got a 4-bedroom, I got a mansion. He say, call anybody. Call anybody, a friend.
At bare minimum, you shouldn't have been thinking about no mansion, no 4-bedroom, nothing. Nigga, if anything, I'm gonna get you a hotel for 2 weeks. Okay? You can't come to my house. I don't know what the fuck you got going on. You know? But to have an expectation that a man is gonna put you up in a 4-bedroom house or a mansion, you must have thought you was Kalani and he was Nick Cannon. What the fuck?
Anybody. I'm gonna get on the phone 3, I'm gonna say, it's Tyrese Gibson. And I stamped this message. I said, if you don't get the fuck off my phone with that weirdo shit, I'm single.
Now, I ain't gonna lie, he played the fuck out of him. For him to say, call up any of your friends, put me on the line, and I'm gonna tell him I'm Tyrese Gibson and I stamped this message, yeah, he wanted to play your ass. He ain't really like you. Because what the fuck is his cosign gonna do for you to have a place to stay? Yes, this is Tyrese. This is my friend Kevin McCall. He needs a place to stay. All right? Just giving you a voucher, a verbal voucher, all right? He can't come with me, but if he can come with you, I co-sign it. What gonna happen if you gotta kick his ass out? You gonna call Tyrese back? Hey man, I had to kick your friend out. What?
Songwriter Kevin McCall, and I blew the hell out of that.
I wanna put them clothes up your body.
So here is Kevin McCall talking about blowing $8 million. How? I don't know. But this is from 2019.
Chris Brown called me and like, look, This song is going real good. We about to do the video. I only got a check for $10,000 at that time. Spent that up in no day. Tried to get a whip, some dumb shit. But when I finally got a check from Deuces that was over 6 figures, I opened that mug up. It was like, I ain't never seen nothing over $10,000 in my life. So when I saw 100 and something thousand, I'm like, I looked at my cousin, I just closed it. I got scared. I didn't even get happy. I'm like, where I'm gonna put this shit? Didn't know what to do with it. Didn't know where to start. The most I had ever paid for rent at the time was like $300. It took me almost losing my family to realize, okay, something's not right. I had a 4-bedroom house and my child's mom had to pay the rent. I'm thinking I'm broke, not knowing I got checks coming from here to here, on this tax ID number, all these things that I'm more familiar with now. And if I knew them then, I probably could have saved my family, but I knew I blew the bag when I had to move back into my parents' house for like a week. Just that whole time period was the most embarrassing time. I almost crumbled to the pressure, and then one of them royalty checks came in again. Praise the Lord. Another little $10,000 or something just to get me back started. I got me an apartment. Then I lost that apartment. I was back on my grandmother's couch again. I had to really sit back and say, okay, well, where's the money coming from? How do I get paid? How do I manage that to where I could survive? I blew a bag, but like they say, you're never a millionaire until you lose your first million.
You're never a millionaire until you lose your first million, sir. You lost 8.4 million. So how did you lose your first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth? What was you doing it for, Kobe? Oh, I'm tripping. But there's more.
Now, domestic violence is very, very real. And it was, I went through domestic violence. I finally found the courage to come up and talk about it about a couple years ago, about what I went through with Kevin. And he is definitely extremely violent, physically abusive. And I wasn't the only person that has dealt with it. More recently, there was a young lady he dealt with, knocked all her fronts out. His child's mother before me has dealt with domestic violence, his sister, his mother, and now obviously the list goes on. And there's this new young lady that unfortunately was dating him, and his inability to have what people call self-control of his, frustration and his anger, and he takes it out. And he's not a small guy. He played D1 football. So he's a nice sized guy, and it wasn't a relationship that lasted long enough for me to really even know him. And so it didn't start for me until I was pregnant with Marley. When Marley started, and I was pregnant with my child. So,
and that's when the abuse started.
Yep. And then about a month after having Marley, it didn't stop. It got worse, and it got worse with her. And the final straw was when Marley was actually in my arms once, and I was like, I can't do this no more.
Oh my God.
Damn. All right, Eva, don't start.
So I feel sorry. I feel sorry for that girl. I feel bad for that girl. And I feel bad for women that have to deal with it. And, it's actually not a laughable matter. It's something that makes you feel so little. So you really don't want to talk about it. But it really sucks. And I hope that they keep his ass in jail as long as they can.
All right. So before I move forward anymore, I just want to say peace to Ava Marcel, and salute her for getting out of that situation. But unfortunately, it seems even after she left, he continued to perpetuate that same behavior upon others, that violence. And again, I don't co-sign that shit at all. And basically, the hard times that he's going through today, I would attribute that to karmic debt. Like you that's how you treated the women that you were with while you thought you was popping or had things going on. Everybody doesn't get away with it. You know what I mean? It just is what it is. And you should be happy that none of these women's family members offed you in the process, because this repeated behavior is not okay. All right. Now let me get back to him needing 4 songs and to get his 25,000, which he talked about earlier when he was doing the Grrrls impression. All right. So what and he's shown proof of this, although it's been deleted from his Instagram now. I recall him putting up a screenshot of him sending an email to his publishing company and trying to see how he could get some money. And they sent him a message back that basically said, "Hey, you have you've built up, I think it's like 3.9 credits or something like that. And you need another 4 songs to get you through this period of your deal. And once you complete that task, we'll send you $25,000, right?" And I believe that email was from around 2018, 2019-ish. So around the time he was doing that interview talking about blowing $8.4 million, he was in the process of trying to get that 25 because he needed it. And he still seems to need it to this day. Right? And he was caught up in what the music industry, the publishing business calls an MDRC. And if you've been following me for the long haul for the last 2 years, you know I've addressed this MDRC multiple times before, but I haven't talked about it so much recently. And it's a bare minimum, it's a minimum commitment that you have to submit to the publisher. And it has to be also not only submitted, but accepted by the publisher, right? So if they say you need to submit us, let's say 12 songs. Now, the thing about the 12 songs is 12 songs is not actually 12 songs. You feel me? So when you have one song, you only receive credit for your percentage of the song. So if you have 20% writing credit on the record and that record goes to the publisher and they say, "Hey, I worked on this song," you're counted at a credit of 20%. And in order for you to get that full one song credit, you got to have 5 20%, right? So that's 5 songs equals 1. So in order to do 12 songs, if you're only getting 20%, you got to do that 12 times. So what's 5 times 12? 60? So you really got to bring 60 songs to the fold in order to be counted for that 12. And not only do you bring that 60, but if that 60 does not get released, they don't count. So if you got 40 released and then 20 that weren't actually released, they didn't make the album, they don't count. If they're not released, in some instances, if it's not released as a single, it don't count. If you wrote a song for an independent artist out of that 60, it don't count unless it's with a major label artist. So this policy that was in these publishing contracts, which there was a big to-do about this like 2 to 3 years ago in the music industry, where a lot of songwriters and producers were boycotting and trying to figure out how can we do a stoppage of work to get this MDRC stuff taken out of our contracts, because a lot of people ended up signing what looked like a short-term contract, but it ended up taking decades out of their lives just to accomplish little milestones in their contract to get little bits of money. So that's why he's like, "Yo, Chris, can we just do these 4 songs so that I could get access to my 25K?" But unfortunately, the relationship between him and Chris Brown was completely shattered before that email exchange ever happened. So Chris Brown was, of course, a major artist that he could write for, that he could have gotten those placements on and easily could have gotten that 25K. But Chris Brown was already at a place of, "Nigga, fuck you. Ain't no work." You know what I'm saying? Because I believe back in 2018, Kevin McCall threatened to harm Chris and his daughter. So that was a line that was crossed back then that couldn't be mended. So he's still sitting at the same place today. Now, I do believe that Kevin McCall does do side work. You know, I saw that he was running like a special earlier this year for like $500 features for independent artists if you wanted a feature, or if you wanted to get songwriting done. 500, you could get some treatment. And he's a talented writer, and he can sing, but he's got a lot of demons, and he's a violent person. You know what I'm saying? Which is holding him back. So it's just a fucked up situation altogether. But again, this is the karmic debt. This is the return of what you've put out into the world. So, I don't think there's any sympathy. You being on EBT or whatever the case may be, you're lucky you have that. Okay? There's a lot of low income people, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just, according to the numbers, that can't even get that. Not to mention, there's a lot of people at this current time, based on what's going on in the country with the government, that may also be on EBT, on, just like you, but don't have access to the funds because it's been shut off. The government has ran through their reservoir of funds, so they say. So until our government can come to some sort of agreement to open up everything, people are going to be suffering going into holiday season, Thanksgiving coming up. And if you were making money off of deuces and all of that stuff back then, I don't see how you're not making any money off of it today. Now, do you have a lot of placements probably coming in? I would say probably not. I do know that he did write on this new Omarion project, because I saw that he did an interview, as in Omarion did an interview with Joe Budden, and he was like, yo, who you wrote this? And he was like, nah, K-Mac. So clearly he still has relationships in the industry of people he can collaborate, but to my knowledge, Omarion is an independent artist. So even writing for him doesn't count towards that MDRC because he's an independent artist. So whatever money he was going to make, I'm sure Omarion probably had to pay him out of pocket. Or he may get some residue off of it whenever he gets through that minimum requirement. So just wanted to give people a little bit of the music business perspective on this situation outside of just the drama and the antics and the theatrics, because there is a very real piece of this that is being overlooked. And unfortunately for him, he didn't have the knowledge. He didn't have anybody in his corner to show him or teach him about publishing or anything like that. So as he was taking off with Chris, he got caught up. And hey man, that sucks. But if he had better relationships in the industry, I'm sure he could probably find somebody that could lead him in the right direction to get the right legal team that might even do it pro bono, or at least put him on, a plan or something to where they could get him out of that deal. But, again, you got to build relationships. You got to be good to people. You can't cross everybody. As all this has been going on, Chris Brown came out and said something like, ain't no walking across a burnt down bridge or something like that. And he said, what's even worse than a troll is a broke one or something like that. Young Thug came out and made an offer that he was going to pay Kevin McCall the $25,000 after Chris Brown basically said, fuck that bullshit. Young Thug said, hey, brother, I'm sorry. I can't help you. So at this current stage, you're going to have to go get you a job, sir. Shit, boy, I don't know. You got a criminal background. Your ass might be working at motherfucking In and Out or Checkers or something, man. Whatever you got locally, I'm sure they'll take you. I'm sure you could be a car wash attendant or something. And I'm not trying to be funny, but you got to do something, man. I don't know if you got all these out. They do background checks though. But you got to do something. All right, crying on back on Fig couch about your EBT situation is not going to do it. Lashing out at the world, lashing out at Chris while simultaneously asking him for something ain't gonna do it. So you're gonna have to figure something out. You're gonna have to become an entrepreneur of sorts and get it out the mud just like everybody else. Because there's artists out here that don't have no hits. There's artists out here that haven't written no major records, that have never touched $8 million, that are living better than you. So what is your excuse? Okay, that's my takeaway from it. But you gotta get yourself together. You gotta fix yourself. Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, become an insider. I will catch y'all on the next one. Yeah, family over fame in this bitch, yeah. The glory of living righteous is setting in. My street knowledge and education's a perfect blend. Young mogul, independent, I've been setting trends. The first one from my family to be faithfully wed. Fuck niggas and the horses that they riding on. I see this shit from all angles like a polygon. I'll never politic and the drama be piling on. Father and great son acknowledged like I'm Bobby Bonds. Conversation with my lady about the paper route. 5 sit bank accounts every day I make it count. They down talking my commentary for hating now. Well, I can take it cause I'm bodying your favorite now, please. I can do this shit in my sleep. I been writing for these niggas, y'all read it and weep. I been fighting these niggas if you speak on the street. I'll turn your birthday party into New Year's Eve. Don't let me take it there. We ain't playing fair. This the ATL, Southside nigga moving furniture like Wayfair. Life on hold, no insurance for your healthcare. Lifeline gone, so you wanna be a millionaire? Well, let me tell you about this world I built. The women I dodged, the niggas that I read for filth. The sympathy cause consulting for the stacks I built.